Good morning, Cowboy Jim here in Fort Mac. I hope you had a good weekend and your week looks kind of beneficial. And you have what is that elusive thing that's called hope. And I, of course, just hanging out here in Fort Mac and enjoying myself and a nice day up here and all those things. And I do what I do. I watch and I try to interpret what is going on in the world and where do we as Canadians fit into this world. I look down in the states and oh my, the idea a year and a half ago when the democratic cities were being torn asunder by Black Lives Matter and every other rebellious, certainly didn't seem like God fearing people. They just were killing everyone and burning businesses to the ground. People had worked their lives to build up a certain degree of equity, usually in the hope that eventually, when it came time to retire, they'd be able to sell their businesses. But instead, businesses were being burnt down, and the Democratic Party in the states were saying defund the police because this obviously isn't working. And the joke is now they're changing their minds a little, if they have minds, and they're now saying that there should be a greater application of new laws to do with handguns. And you look at what happened down in the states on the weekend, and a huge number of people killed in 11 different um, assaults. People are just not handling the stresses of life the way you would hope they could. And the people who are, let's face it, not right in the head are tending to take law and order into their own hands. And and they don't even know what to do with their hands. And the end result seems to be that people are killed. And innocent people, people who didn't have anything to do with anything really, just going about their normal everyday business, and people shooting the hell out of them. It is it is sad, and of course the answer um, to all the people who are using assault rifles. That's a semi-automatic with anything more than a couple of shells capability in a clip, which then doesn't even work. But people are absolutely um, crazy, and we have politicians who will take any tragedy and further their own agenda. A couple of examples: fossil fuel down in the states could be totally developed in such a manner as it was under Donald Trump, where the U.S. actually, instead of being an importer of oil, they were exporters of oil because their productivity was so good because the government had not infringed on the oil companies in such a way that the oil companies could not take the risk of drilling because they couldn't get the bloody permits. They get leases. They could buy leases, but then the government wouldn't give them permits because the government wanted to kill all fossil fuel. And the justification, very simply, was, well, we have to find a better way of providing energy in order to help the country run, in order to curtail global warming. And the US and Canada and a few countries like that really want to influence the curtailment of global warming. We've covered quite a few subjects already. We're not done. The problem is, and the short sightedness is this: if the US, Canada, Great Britain, a few like that, um, curtail the manufacturing of goods that we need, and we buy those from other countries, China, India, other countries that don't care about global warming. I mean, they care about business and they care about making money and profit. And and so we shoot our own selves in the foot in order to help make it so that those countries can continue raping and plundering the world, polluting the world. Because, well, no one knows why. I mean, we don't. I have spoken several times on the Ukraine and what is going on over there. And to me, I think, well, Putin is very interested in the north of North America, not just the north, but the very north. He is disputing, has disputed, who owns, say, the North Pole and coming down to the Arctic Circle. Who owns? And we own, Canadians own our north. But Xi Jinping and Putin have a game plan. And especially with Xi Jinping, his game plan is to take over the world. And people say, geez, you're crazy. Sorry, not crazy. Boy, in some ways I wished I were, because I wouldn't be quite as terribly concerned as I am. Xi Jinping, South China Seas, I think, Taiwan definitely, and Putin just moving into a country under the guise that Putin was going to eliminate Nazism, using the same tactics that the Nazis used in the Second and before the Second World War. How do they differ? I mean, is morality on one side? Sure isn't on Putin's side. Can't be. Sure wasn't on Hitler's side. Couldn't be. Too many people died because their methodology was selfish. They just did whatever they chose to do. And Putin's doing it again. And what resistance? Around the world, the political leaders are providing provision for Zelensky. I like that little guy. Oh my, you have no idea. I just so admire him. He's my type of politician, like Donald Trump, who is probably one of the most hated people around the world. I mean, other than Putin, Xi Jinping, Justin Trudeau. But Donald and Zelensky, they tried to fulfill what it was they said. And I don't know that Donald missed on anything. I don't know that Zelensky has missed on anything either. But here we are. a world. This is a Monday morning. I may implement a rule that there can be no news watched until lunchtime on Monday because it screws the whole week up. But, anyways, it is what it is. Um, let's visit just a second. Um, let's speak on freedom, our freedom, your freedom. And they're plural. They're getting down where they're starting to be almost singular instead of plural. Um, they are now saying that due to the evidence, you should really have a third booster. I'm fully vaccinated because I want to work. Um, I don't ever want to take a booster from companies that may or may not have been, shall we say, as morally sound as they could be. And we chase science. There are opinions, diverse opinions on the science, well, to do with everything, COVID, global warming, everything. Do you ever tire of the government acting as though they know better what you should be doing than you know about what you should be doing? I tire of that. I look forward to being able to vote and get rid of some politicians. I don't know if there's time. I don't know. If we think about everything that has gone on or is going on, is there time? I don't know. Are you worried? Are you concerned? I think down deep in our hearts we're all worried a little. Um, what good is it to worry? I don't I don't think there's any good in it unless it helps you prepare yourself, whether psychologically or physically, uh, for the things that could take place. But if we worry about the things that could take place all the time, then we forget to live today. Um, I grew up, there was a song, short little thing. This is the day the Lord hath made. Comes out of Scripture. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Do you know, perhaps the horror that we see around the world, perhaps that may yet drive us to a renewing of our consideration that there could be a God. There could be a creator. I I think there is. But if there is, and we all ignore him, what good is the thought that he could be real? But if there's some way in all our dissipation of our freedoms, they're just going away. I mean, right now, Trudeau is doing everything in his power to ban handguns. Down in the States, they are starting to realize that criminals have to be prosecuted, not persecuted, well, they should be, but prosecuted. And the DAs, district attorneys down there, are starting to realize, because a few of them have been recalled, a few of them are up for serious scrutiny and how stupidly they have behaved. We have laws. They need to be enforced. We have checks on who can own a gun. We have we have all the rules that we need if they were just implemented, but they're not implemented. And so the wrong people are well armed. They're called criminals. Uh, the people who are law abiding citizens are guilty of being law abiding citizens. And so, in an effort to protect the people of law and order, a criminal's not guilty until proven guilty. A victim is guilty, on the other hand, until they can, if they can afford it, prove that they aren't guilty. And law and order's gone crazy. This world has gone crazy. Politicians, geez. Um, there's a scripture. It says, you have the quality of government that you deserve because you will do nothing about it. That does not mean a call to arms. That means a call to vote. In Ontario, they had the lowest voter turnout, I think, since record keeping started, but who knows. They had 49%, just under 50%. Well, if half the Canadians in existence, not dead, but half the Canadians in existence, the next time we have a federal election, if we got 50% turnout, probably be considered really good. I would hope for about 75. But anyways, there's where we are. Monday morning. Well, who knew? I hope that you can encourage yourself a little. You can get out for a walk. Enjoy the sunshine. Don't live in fear. Fear sucks. Okay? So, anyways, Cowboy Jim over and out up here in Fort Mac. God bless thee. I, uh, I, I, I think, I hope that you will just consider potential of a creator. And why is he taking us in this direction if he's real? And I believe he is. Get to know history in order to know what the future holds. The future is all written down in history. If you take the time to ponder it, to consider, think, you will see the future written in the past, in the groundwork of the past. And if you think taking the weapons away from the people, the public, the people who are not criminals. Criminals will always get guns. They'll get whatever type of gun they want. That's not what Trudeau is talking about. Trudeau is talking about taking your ability to defend yourself in your home away from you. So that why? So that you're more reliant on the government. And the government, well, we elected them. Boy, that's a shameful thing to consider. Okay, brighten up. Sorry. God bless thee. You have a good day. There is hope. It's not in politicians. It's not in laws that are not enforced. It is in laws that are enforced. It sounds strange, but it's actually true. Anyways, God bless you. God bless.